Ron, good morning all. Welcome to the last live of the week. It is what we're on. Oh, morning, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I'll do a standard sort of good morning. We're on Friday, the 28th of Friday, the 28th of November. The last Friday of November 2020. Yeah, this time next week is December, and then we're full on Christmas mode. I'll have my Christmas hat on. I'll dye my beard white. You know, we're going in. We're going all in Christmas mode. A couple of weeks. What is it? Looking at 3 weeks today is Mad Friday. 3 weeks today, Mad Friday. That is the countdown. I am then officially finishing. What am I officially doing? Finishing work on the night. Well, night 20th, probably the 20th. I always do a bit of work on the Saturday just to mop up what's left over from a Friday. Friday's my busiest working day of the week. It is check-in day, and that's why this is Fri-Weigh weight loss chat, because it's when my clients check in. My clients check in every other Friday. Right, let me there's not many in yet. I'll leave it a minute. I'll carry on waffling as always. I'm actually just catching up yesterday's weight loss coaching live, which was tackling the final push to Christmas. I'm just uploading it to YouTube now for my community members. It's just an old community members. Is the old weight loss coaching lives. Anyway, I'm just uploading it now, and then I'll post the links. I need to post a link for Thursdays as well. Though a few of you have watched Tuesdays back, so I'm having an admin catch-up day. I've been a bit lazy this week. I'm going to hold my hands up. My motivation at the moment, it's just like a lot of people's this time of year. It's just not on the down low, but with everything, I'm ready for a break. I'm ready for Christmas, ready for a little bit of a break. And I always go into a bit of a go slow mode this time of year, because that's it. We're sort of, for me personally, not me personally, but with the Real Lost Boss stuff, I'll still be doing lots of content, and I'll still be working with my current clients, but I don't take on any new clients. And a lot of people, my job at the moment is just to keep people hanging on for another few weeks until the old Christmas, until we hit our Christmas cutoff. That is my job at the moment. It isn't signing, it isn't signing clients up, building the business and stuff like that. So, yeah, I do. And although I have a few holidays throughout the year, I actually don't. What do I do? I don't have an actual full week off. I never have a full week off throughout the year, because I'm just updating the website. Next available start date for my one-to-one plan is the 5th of January, 2026. 2026 is the next available start date now for my one-to-one plan. So no new. Well, actually, someone signed up this morning. I will get them started on Monday. I did say I'd do an extra couple. No one's actually signed up this week, but I've not pushed it either, to be honest with you. I just run my Black Friday deal for the rest of this week. But yeah, it's that's it. That's it. All good. Anyway, yeah, we're starting a week. 5th of Jan will be the next start date for the one-to-one plan. Anyway, that's all updated now. So yeah, it is. It's just a case of trying to hang on a little bit, isn't it? So anyway, I'm having an admin catch-up day today, as well as doing check-ins. I'm going to get my head down and proper get stuck in. So yeah, I need to update a couple of bits and pieces and post a few bits and pieces and just catch up with my community a little bit. So I'm going to try and do that in between doing check-ins, and then I'm going to have a bit of a chill this weekend. We've got no plans, which I absolutely love. Nice, boring weekend this weekend. I'm not going to have loads of calories. How's my weight loss week gone? So I had a day off from tracking on Monday. I know how many calories I had on Monday, which is fine. I know because I just know, right? Whether I track or not, I know the calories I'm eating. I've done this now for 10 years. It's, it's just ingrained in me. It's like my second language. But I'm not counting my calories on Monday. I'm working to a 6-day calorie week this week, then a 7-day calorie week. So instead of trying to stick to put some food in my tax then. I don't. Instead of sticking to a 7-day week, we're doing a 6-day week. So normally I do 18,200 calories over a week. This week I'm doing 15,600. So just ignoring Monday, I'm working to 15,600. I have just tracked my food for today. So I've tracked my main meals for today. I haven't tracked any other snacks or anything like that. But as it stands, I have still banked. My main meals today are 1,611 calories, but I'm going to have 400 on top of that. So I'm going to be around about 2,000, 2,100 today. And as it stands, that will have me banking 2,000 calories going into the weekend. Now, is that a little bit of a false positive? It is in a way, because I know I had 4,100 calories on Monday. So I went 1,600, 1,500 over my calories on Monday, my daily average. So technically, I've banked 500 calories going into the weekend. So this week, I'm not going to hit my ideal deficit, but I will still be in a deficit. But I'm not counting the Monday. I'm generally I know what I've eaten, but I'm working to that 6-day week rather than a 5-day week. So I'm still going to have 2,000 calories going into the weekend. And that's what I'm going to stick to. That is basically what I'm going to work at sticking to. So I have a daily average of 2,600 calories a day. So I'm going to work having 3,600 tomorrow, 3,600 Sunday. And if I do that, then technically I'm 1,500 over for the week, which still puts me in a calorie deficit of 4,500 for the week. So it's all good. I don't want it to sound too complicated. It's not meant to be complicated, but there we go. There we go. So that's what we're working to next week. And I said this yesterday on my weight loss coaching live with my community. We're talking about the final push for Christmas. I've just decided, and there's nothing wrong with, I said this yesterday, you've got to try and be as proactive as possible when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to planning and looking ahead. But you also have to understand that life is reactive. And that's why a lot of weight loss plans just don't work. They just don't work consistently because they don't allow that flexibility that we're always going to need in life. Certain things will happen in life that are taken out of our control. And we need to be able to roll with that a little bit. And, for whatever reason, you might be doing Slimming World and you're on 15 sins a day, soon to be sips. Anyway, or swips. Is it swips or swaps or swipes? I have no idea. But anyway, Slimming World's changing from January. I'll do some content on that in January. When they officially launch it and we know exactly what's going on, I'll do a bit of content on it. But anyway, at the moment, 15 sins a day. And you might just end up, for whatever reason, for the rights or wrongs of it, on a Tuesday, you end up having to sit back, right? On a Tuesday, you might have to, work late for whatever reason. Your boss just comes in, I've got this flipping report that needs filing. It needs to go to, it was meant to go Friday, but head office has just phoned up. It has to go in tomorrow. Can you just do an extra couple of hours tonight? I'm really, really sorry. We'll pay you extra. We'll do this, or we'll give you a day's holiday extra, or whatever like that. Yeah, fine, no worries. And you walk out of work at 8 o'clock at night time. And, in your head, you were planning, you should have been home at R5 and you were going to make yourself this, and this for tea. And it's just ended up, it's 8 o'clock at night time. You're extra knackered. Are you maybe going to grab a takeaway on the way home? For the rights or wrongs of it, some people, some coaches will be like, no, doesn't matter when you finish. You finish work at 10 o'clock at night time. You go home and you cook your chicken and your rice and this, that, and the other. I'm not like that. I live in the real world, right? 8 o'clock at night time, I'm absolutely knackered, and you might just nip. I just want to go to bed. I'm just gonna, my head's melted, so I'm just gonna nip through Mackey's drive-through on the way home, right? And I'm just gonna grab, even if you just grab a wrap of the day and 6 nuggets, which is 700-800 calories, you know, it's gonna be quite calorie controlled. You know, you're gonna jump to a little bit of convenience food. But if you're on Slimming World and you grab a wrap of the day and 6 nuggets, that's probably going to be 25 sins, right? And next thing in your head, well, I've ruined the week because I've had 25 sins, right? Whereas in my world, if you've had 800 calories, you probably have that. You probably have 600 calories for your tea anyway. It's a couple hundred calories, you know. Might not be the most nutritionally dense food in the world, but it is what it is. So but that's a reactive situation. You know, you might end up, what is it? You pick kids up from school, they're playing in the back garden, and one of them falls over and bangs their head, right? Oh my God, they banged their head, this, that, and the other. Next thing you're off to A&E. Next thing you sat in A&E from 5 p.m. at night time till flipping 11 p.m., right? And your only option is Costa Coffee or M&S, and you end up with a meal deal and this, that, and the other. And again, but it's a reactive thing. It's taken out of your control. Could you eat sin-free from M&S or sin-free? Maybe, I have no idea. But at that moment in time, you're panicking and you're worried about your kids and you just need some tea, right? Again, if you're on 15 sins a day, or you're doing keto, or you're intermittent fasting, oh my God, it's 8 at night time, I've not eaten yet. Oh no, I'm intermittent fasting, I can't eat. I can only eat between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. and I've forgotten to eat. You're going to break your fast, or you're going to eat carbohydrates, or you're going to go over your sins. And that straight away in your head is going to, I've let myself down. I've failed, right? That then rolls into this negative emotion, and oh well, I've ruined this week, I might as well start again Monday, and blah blah blah. It just doesn't work like, you know, life just doesn't work like that. Your weight loss method needs to fit into your life, and it needs to be a weight loss method that can be as reactive as life can be at times. Now, don't get me wrong, if every single week it's this one week, it's work was dead stressful this week, the kids have been doing me head in the next week after that you fall out with your partner, the week after that your mum's in hospital, the week after that your kids are doing your head in again, the week after that work's dead busy, the week after that you're just not feeling great, you're a bit ill, the week after that you twist your ankle, the week after that your dad's in hospital, the week after that your kids are doing your head in again. Like, that's life, you know. If that is the way your life is, that's life, right? And we can't let life dictate our eating habits, our lifestyle habits, right? And we do. I used to, right? We let general, and I'm not saying, you know, every now and then, but work's going to be stressful. Unfortunately, other family members are going to be poorly at times. You're going to be poorly at times. Your kids are going to do you flipping nutting at times. You know, work will box your head at times. I'm sorry, that's nothing out of the ordinary for everybody on the planet, right? That's called life. And if you're using general situations in life as an excuse to overeat and not look after yourself, that's going to change. That's going to change. But there are certain situations where, you know, we do need to be a little bit reactive. And I think I always say this: there's easier and worse times to lose weight, or harder and easier times. And just because it's a tougher time doesn't mean we can't lose weight, doesn't mean we can't make some progress. But we need to take the pressure off ourselves a little bit. When it's an easier time to lose weight, Jan, Feb, March, head in, get at it, right? That's when you make hay while the sun shines. So what I'm trying to get at with that is, anyway, this time of year is very reactive. It just is, right? And we might set off with all these amazing good intentions, and as long as we don't chuck everything in the bin, we're all good, right? And you can switch things around. So I set off at the beginning of November with a plan running up to Christmas, where I'd be doing a quiet week, busy week, quiet week, busy week. So a quiet week could just be what I call groundhog week, standard ideal calorie deficit on it, all sorted, right? A busy week is where I'm probably being a bit more social, going to need a few more calories, and because of that, I'm just going to end up you know, dipping into my deficit a little bit and making it a bit smaller. What I've actually done now is for the last 3 weeks, and nothing's majorly changed between quiet week, busy week. It's still running a bit like that. But I've just decided for the run up to Christmas, and this is just working for me personally, is I'm just going to try and stick to a calorie deficit. Right? If this week I'm in a 4,000 calorie deficit, good. If next week it's 3,000, good. If the week after it's 5,000, good. The week after that it's 2,000, good. I just want to be in a calorie deficit. I'm not trying to be any more specific than that. What do I class as a calorie deficit? Well, eating less calories than you burn. I do, but a calorie deficit for me, you've got to be at least 1,000 calories under maintenance. At least 1,000 calories under maintenance. So if your maintenance calories is 15,000 calories a week, as long as you're 14,000 or less, you're in a calorie deficit. Technically, officially, right? If you ate 14,999 calories and you burn 15,000, you're 1 calorie under that, and you are in a calorie deficit. But for me, I think 1,000 or under. If you're 1,000 calories or under your maintenance, you're going to be knocking on losing like 1/3 of a pound of body fat. You're going to lose like this bit here, right? And that's still all right. You know, that's not bad at all. Yeah, it's still an amount that's all right. Yeah, if you did that every week, that means you'd lose one of those in 3 weeks, right? Which I know people might want to lose more than that, but if you did that over a year, right, you'd be knocking on 18 of those in a year. 1, 2, 3, if you 18 of those, 3 across, 6 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, that much body fat, that times 18 in a year. I know for a lot of people, we might want to lose more than that, but it's still, how many, and I'm not trying to call people out here, how many of you guys set off with all the best intentions in January, right? All the best intentions in January. We are now 4 weeks away from the end of the year, and you've not lost 18 pounds from January. But since January, you've been bouncing from fad diet to fad diet. You might have done Slimming World, you might have done keto, you might have going to extremes is a fad diet, doing 1,000 calories a day, not eating a takeaway ever again, not doing this ever again. And you've not made that progress. Whereas just being in 1,000 calorie deficit a week, right? Yes, it might feel quite slow, and you might not be getting those big losses on the scales that everyone was chasing. But if you've done 1,000 calorie deficit a week consistently, which you can even do that on holiday in a way with still enjoying yourself, it's literally 1,000 calorie deficit a week. You're going to be, I'll work it out. Let's work it out. So 1,000 calorie deficit a week would have you in a 52,000 calorie deficit over a year. That would actually be about 15 pounds of fat loss. It's over a stone, right? You do that over 5 years, you're 5 stone down, right? And that isn't a chore to be in 1,000 calorie deficit a week. What is a chore, right, is being in a 8,000 calorie, 9,000 calorie deficit a week, losing a considerable amount of weight, hitting your brick wall and gaining it all back. How many of you have done that this year? How many of you lot have done that this year? And don't beat yourself up about it. Don't beat yourself up about it, because you can't change the past. I can't change what happened 10 minutes ago, let alone change what's happened in 2025. What you can change is 2026. So any mistakes you might have made on your weight loss journey in 2020, I made loads in 2024. I've rectified them in 2025. In 2024, I ended up, from the beginning of 2024 up until finishing for Christmas, I ended up about 16, 17 pounds down, just over a stone. I was really inconsistent, but I was lighter at the end of the year. I gained 12 back over Christmas. That's in weight, not in fat. So I lost probably about 16 pounds, but I gained 12 back. So really, from the beginning of January 2025, from the beginning of January 2024, yeah, I was about 5 pounds down. Yeah. And I made quite a few mistakes last year. I've rectified them this year. I'm currently sat about 40 pounds down, which is what I'm going to aim to go into Christmas with, being 40 pounds down. If I gain 12 pounds again over Christmas and I weigh myself on beginning of January, I'd be 28 pounds down. So in 2020, for the whole of 2024, Jan to Jan, net loss, right? 5 pounds down. This year, net loss 2025, 28 pounds down, nearly 6 times the amount of fat loss as I did in 2024, because I've rectified my mistakes. Have I made any mistakes this year? Yeah, but nowhere near as many as 2024. You can always improve. You can always improve. Have I made mistakes this year that I want to massively rectify next year? Not really, because life's not perfect. I'm happy to make the odd mistake. Right? I don't want to make loads, but I'm happy to make the odd mistake. And really, in 2026, I don't need to lose. I don't want to lose the weight that I've lost in 2025. If I can lose my Christmas weight, maybe another stone on top, I'll be happy. Right? I'll be happy. You know, right? I know I've waffled like mad there. Let's do a top. Let's say at least hello to a few people. Lou's in at number 1, Callum's in at number 2, Kelly C's in at number 3. We're doing the top 5 on TikTok, by the way. Tina's in at number 4, and Maureen bringing up the rear at number 5. Good morning, guys. Thank you very much for jumping straight on the live, coming and saying hello. Sheila's in. Morning. Maureen's had a good weigh in. Brilliant. I will be getting my head stuck into checking soon. Lynn's in. Lynn, how you doing? Not spoke to you for ages. Hope you're doing good. Probably 3-stroke walk weight. I stuck to my calories. Oh, time to float. There isn't another bit to that. Let me scan. Oh, see if I've missed anything. Lost 5 stone. 8.5 since Feb. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, Amy. You should be very proud of yourself. That's really good weight loss. Really, really good weight loss. 1,000 a week or a day. I'm talking about 1,000 a week, like a small deficit, right? You know, I'm talking about 1,000 a week, which is a small deficit, which would mean you'd lose just over a stone over a year. Yeah. And again, some people, and what I'm trying to say is some people go, oh, that's pathetic. I'm not interested in that. And what I'm trying to say is the amount of people that will have thought that in January, yet and to go into 1,000, you know, if I was to put myself into 1,000 calorie, if I was to put myself into 1,000 calorie deficit a day, right, I would lose, 15 pounds, 16 pounds over a year. But I'd be able to eat 3,400 calories a day. That's not a chore. It's not. If you're willing to put the effort in to have a fairly decent level of movement, like 1,000 calorie deficit a week. Sorry, not a day, a week. Right, isn't a chore for anybody. It's such a small margin. It's like 150 calories a day less than you burn, right, consistently. Obviously, there are a lot of people out there that are very light, so they don't have a big calorie burn and they still want to lose weight for whatever reason. Obviously, there are people out there that don't have a great level of movement and they still want to lose weight. So, but still, you know, 1,000 calories a week. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of people think that's insignificant, but it's not. But the amount of people that have lost, that have done crazy fad diets this year and haven't made any progress, when you can just do it so simply, so gently, not punishing yourself, not over restricting yourself, and will have made more progress, and you'll just be much, in the long run, you will be much more happier. What calorie deficit have I been in this year? So I am about 40 pounds down on the scales. That's weight. Okay, so that includes my Christmas whoosh. My Christmas whoosh will have been around about 8 pounds. So we can take that off. So I've lost 32 pounds in fat this year. So 32. So I've lost 32 of these from around my body, right? So 32 is 112,000. So as we sit here now, I have consumed 112,000 calories less than I've burned. We've got 4 weeks of the year left, which means we are in week 40. Let's say we've done 48 weeks. So if I divide that by 48, I have averaged a 2,333 calorie deficit per week. Now, I put myself, when I'm on it, I'm actually in a 6,000 calorie deficit. right? Now, if I was over 48 weeks of the year, if I was in a 6,000 calorie deficit, I'd have lost 70, 80 pounds. So you might be like, why are you only in a 2,300 when you put yourself in a 6,000 more weeks? Because I've had 41 surplus days, all right, holidays. So out of all the days of 2025, I've done 41 surplus where I've eaten above my calories, and that's from holidays. And we've had a few holidays. I do have a few holidays every year because it's the only way I switch off, right? It's the only way I switch off. Like I say, I work. I never have a full week off from work. So even, in March, I was in Egypt. I'm still doing some emails. I'm still doing check-ins on a Friday, but I do have at least 3 or 4 days where I switch off, right? I can't switch off when I'm here. Again, I went to Fuengirola for a mate's 50th in May, beginning of May, and we flew out on the Wednesday, and we flew out on the Wednesday, and we were there till the Sunday. Friday morning, a few lads were going off golfing, a few lads were going off crazy golfing. I was sat in my hotel working because that's what I do. That's my job. It's my business. If I didn't work, I wouldn't be sat in Fuengirola because I couldn't afford to go. So I do have quite a few holidays here, and when I go on holiday, I don't care about calories. I don't track. I do care a little bit about nutrition, and I do try and have a bit of balance, but overall, I'm in a calorie surplus. And I've been on holiday 41 days this year, right, where I've not tracked a single calorie. That includes Monday this week, where I was actually in this country, but I didn't track. So that's the counterbalance. 41 days surplus reduces the deficit that much, but still, 2,300. And you can all work it out what deficit you've been in over the year. Right, so however many pounds you've lost this year, right, times that by 3,500, yeah, so that's 3,500 calories in £1. So if you've lost 10 pounds this year, that's 35,000 calories, yeah, that's your deficit, right, and we're week 48, say, so 35,000 divided by 48, you've been in, on average, a 730 calorie deficit a week, 100 calories a day on average, right? Some weeks you'll have been in a really good deficit. Other weeks you've been like me and been in surpluses. But on average, you're in a 700 calorie deficit, right? And if you're a bit disappointed with your weight loss so far this year, work out your average deficit, right? And beat it next year. Beat it next year. If you've lost a stone this year, right? Well, let's do that one. So a stone is 14 times 3,500, right? 49,000 calories. Divide that by 48. So you've been in 1,000 calorie deficit a week, right? If you could do a 1,500 calorie deficit next year, you'll lose 20 pounds instead of 14. If you could average a 2,000 calorie deficit, similar to what I've done, you'll be over 2 stone down, right? So just try and work on it. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better sometimes. Yeah. Let's see what I've missed. See if I've missed anything. What's the maximum calories you should cut per day? It's a little bit subjective, that one. For most people, 500. For most people, 500 below maintenance is healthy and sustainable fat loss. If you move a lot, we can push that a little bit more. If you're very overweight, we can certainly push that a little bit more. If you move a lot and are very overweight, we can definitely push that a little bit more. So I put myself in a 6,000 calorie deficit a week, when that's what I try and stick to for my ideal deficit. And some people might think that's quite restrictive, but I'm quite a big guy and I move a lot and I counterbalance because I have quite a few holidays a year where I don't track. So as you can see, over the year, I've averaged 2,300 calorie deficit. I've not over-restricted myself once. So I might do 10 weeks in a row in a 6,000 calorie deficit, which might be, for some people, pretty damn restrictive. But at the end of that, I'll then go on a week all-inclusive and bash my calories in, which sort of brings the average down, if that makes sense. Just on TikTok, hi, birthday celebrations have started. So 2 estimation days this week. Hope to pull it back before I go away. I'm sure you will, Lisa. When you put it that way, it makes me feel great. I'm on £19 for the year. I thought that was poo, but if I go into the new year lighter than last, then exactly. And if you're not happy that, if you feel like you could push a little bit more, people can lose. Again, it depends how much you've got to lose, what stage of your journey you're at. You've got to take up, never compare yourself to anybody else. Never compare yourself to anybody else. You're just you, right? And the only competition you're in is you. So you might have Doris at work that's, I've lost 5 stone this year. Good on you, Doris, right? Be happy for Doris. She's lost 5 stone this year. Never be jealous or envious of anyone else because at the end of the day, you're in control of what you do with your weight. It's all down to consistency. And if someone has lost a bit more than you've lost, then for whatever reason, they've just been a bit more consistent. Don't be jealous of that or envious of that. Use it as motivation. Say, hey, Doris can do it this year. I'll do it next year. Right? Never, ever be envious or jealous of other people that have got where they've got by working hard. Because anyone that loses 5 stone has worked hard. Right? I'm not saying they've done it in the right way. I'm not saying they've not over-restricted themselves. I'm not saying that. But whatever weight loss method you use, whether it's Slimming World, Weight Watchers, keto, intermittent fasting, a healthy plan like I have, you shake that, it doesn't matter, right? They're hard. They're all hard. Some are really hard. Shakes, 800 calories a day, super hard to stick to, right? And not the right way you should lose weight. But, so it's... just because you're losing weight doesn't, what was I saying? Any weight loss method is hard, right? So if you've got someone that that's lost 5 stone this year, but be like, again, even if they've not done it in the most healthy, sustainable way, admire the effort that they've put in. Yeah. Let me scan down. I try again. Only lost a pound in 2 weeks. Stop saying only. Stop saying only. So weight loss isn't linear, right? Because the scales measure your weight. They don't measure your body fat. Calories only affect body fat, right? But yeah, stop. Lost a pound in 2 weeks. So we don't need the only because you're putting yourself down. You might not think you are, but you are straight away. I've only lost. That's what you're saying. No, you've lost a pound in 2 weeks. But it's all good. I understand that it could be water, stroke, food weight, etc., counterbalancing the scales. That's it. Just take that word only out. Because although you're trying to look at it in a positive frame of mind, which is great, you've started off in a very negative way. Cut the negativity out. There's no need for it. You've lost a pound. That's great. You lose a pound every 2 weeks. You 26 pounds down at the end of the year? Brilliant. How good's that? Even if you're 10 stone overweight, you lose 2 stone every year. In 5 years, and you might be saying, I don't want it to take 5 years. You were probably 10 stone overweight 5 years ago and still saying the same thing. I don't want it to take 5 years. Well, if you just tried to lose 2 stone a year 5 years ago, you'd be a healthy, happy weight now and you'd be maintaining rather than still trying to lose. So we've just got to have a better mindset around it. We really, really have. Guys, I'm going in 5 minutes. It was only a quick one this morning. Fridays are a bit of a... Fridays are a bit of they're just a busy day for me, and they're not great. I'm a bit all over the place on Fridays. Rachel works from home, so sometimes we go to the gym early, sometimes we go in. So I might actually stop in the new year scheduling. I'll always do a live on a Friday, but I might stop scheduling a live time in. It might just be I will be live at some point in the morning because I never know exactly when I'm going live. If you're on plan or in my community, I will always broadcast out or put it in the WhatsApp announcements that I'm jumping on a live. But it's always a quick one for me because Friday's just my busiest day of work. It's when, like I say, my clients check in, and today I've got to catch up a few admin bits as well. So yeah, I can only jump on for half an hour or so. But half an hour is better than nothing. Well, I hope so. Unless you don't like me, then you might be like, I'm not interested. You'll just do one, mate. But anyway, there we go. I can't believe we're getting to the point where my clients check in every 2 weeks. So clients that check in today, they've got officially one more check-in left of 2025, which is the 12th of December. But I do offer them to send over a pre-Christmas weight. So whenever your cutoff is for Christmas, you can send over a pre-Christmas weight. It's not a check-in. You're not going to get a reply from me. Like, it's not, you don't need to, you can just send over a pre-Christmas weight. All right. So we'll just log it on your progress sheet so you can see. And that'll just keep people accountable up to Christmas. You guys that are checking in next week, right? That is your penultimate check-in, I think. Yeah, it is. You guys are checking next week. You've got one more left, which is the 19th, and that'll run us all the way up to Christmas. So whatever your checking is on the 19th, we're just going to call that your pre-Christmas weight. All right, bang, that'll do. And in all honesty, I recommend everyone send their pre-Christmas weight probably on the 19th, even if you're tracking like I am, the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Even if you're tracking, if you're having a bit more of a calorie freedom, your only other option then is to really weigh Monday or Tuesday, and you're not really going to get an accurate weight. So I'll probably put that in the message today. Like, if you want to send a pre-Christmas weight on the 19th, you can send a Christmas weight in after that. But just remember, Monday, Tuesdays aren't the most accurate time to weigh. So someone on the 19th, that's you done for the year. And then we'll get back to the scales in the new year. So, so today, you guys that are checking in say you've got one more to go. 12, and you are done and dusted. I'm cutting off after the challenge deal. Oh, that's early, James. You can do what you want to do, mate. You can do what you want to do, but your challenge ends on the 5th of December. If you want to cut off then and just go a little bit rogue for December, that's fine, right? I'm not telling you what to do, but just have a little think. If you could just hold on another week or so, or maybe because you're finishing next week on the challenge. You've still got another official check-in on the 19th. I know you might be like, no, I'll still check in, but I'm not really too bothered about that. But it is your decision. You've got to make your own decision. Yeah. But that is quite early. For me personally, that's a little bit early to go. I'm just saying. And I understand that if you've been doing the challenge and you've been on it for 12 weeks, and that is the tough thing about finishing the challenge early, because when we do the challenge March, April, May, when people finish the challenge then, right, for most of them, I'm like, go take a little weight loss break, even if it's just a bit of a blowout weekend. But this year, the challenge September, October, November that finishes in December, because we've got 2 weeks pretty much of overindulgence at Christmas, we should try and just hold on another week or two. Just try and hold on another week or two. But the decision is down to you. Start fresh in the new year. Too many things going on in December. Now there isn't, James. Come on, you've not been watching my weight loss coaching lives, mate. But honestly, if that's your decision, mate, that's absolutely fine. And I mean that. As long as you're happy with your decision, that is absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. And I get it. I do get it. Will we get another progress sheet before Christmas? That is something I'm catching up on today. I have been absolutely. I think, John, you've got one. I think. I've got everyone that checked in last Friday. I have literally got all your progress sheets sat in where's it sat? Sat in my email. I just need to attach everyone's emails and get them pinged out. That's a job to do today. On top of me check-ins. Let's see where you are, Mr. John Jackson. You will get a pro. When did you check? Are you checking in today? So you're checking in today. And your final check. Yeah, you're due on. Did you check it in last? Yeah, so you should have had an updated progress sheet last time. And then you'll get another one after the 12th because that's an even. So my clients get an updated progress sheet every even check-in. So you're checking in today, and then 2 weeks today is check-in 72, even check-in. So yes, you'll get one that week, mate. 30, like 14, 15, 16. You'll get an updated progress sheet. Absolutely. Every even check-in. Right, guys, that's me. I am out of here. I'm done for the week for lives. I will be back Monday. So next week, plenty of lives coming in. We've got Monday, 8:30, 8 p.m. Tuesday, this is just social media lives at 8:30 a.m. 8:30 a.m. might just be on TikTok, by the way, because I've got an appointment at 10:40 because about my knees, see if I can get some new knees. We will see. We will see about that. Wednesday will be TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, but it's going to be about 8 a.m. I think. What else are we on? Thursday, Friday, yeah, just standard really. We'll get one in every morning next week. So Monday to Friday morning there'll be a live every morning. One Monday night. Yeah, that's it. Right, I'm out. TikTok, have a wonderful weekend. And I will see unless you even if you're planning the greens, there's no more lives, is it? I'll see you Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. And we'll sign off now to, let me get rid of TikTok, looking personal. We'll sign off now, to YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, have a great weekend, and I'll be back Monday morning, 8:30 a.m.